You've always been my health queen.
Not lately.
Not lately.
It's all cheese sticks and Vegemite toast.
You're pregnant, that's the
Yeah.
excuse. You're the mother of my 2 children, soon to be 3, by the way.
Oh yeah, did you know I was pregnant?
Yeah, can't you tell?
Oh.
Where do you think the work stress shows up in relationships at that time? Where do you think it was playing out for us?
That probably affected our relationship more than we realised at the time.
I believe communication is one of the biggest keys in relationships.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate, you're fucked. We went from communicating every single day, all night, to all hours of the morning, to having children, to having businesses, never talking.
Yeah.
Deeply. About what's going on. Welcome, Jennah, to the Real Bridge podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute honour to have you on here. You know, I was thinking about how I wanted to start this podcast, and the first thing that came to my mind was when you and I first met each other, we used to spend countless hours. I'd come back after the drilling rigs, big days, and I don't know how I found the energy, but we would sit in your van and talk from 8 o'clock at night to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're sitting there going, Sam, we need to go to bed. You got to go to work, and literally now.
And I was training, so I'd have to get up and go for my long runs.
And it was winter, it was cold.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that came to my mind, because, you know, I'm really excited about today because you and I could talk about anything, every topic under the sun. And I just remember when we were sitting in the van there talking about, you know, self-development, growth, and having children at that back then. You know, trail running, we were both excited about it. I was excited about you training for your big race. And the topics just went on, and which excites me today because there's a particular topic I want to speak about, which I'll get to in a minute. But before that, you know, ever since I've met you, you've changed my life. You know, when I first met you, I was in a bad way, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but you enabled me to lift and to find a part of myself and grow. And I'm really, you know, deeply honoured for how much you've helped me through that. And I really, really, truly appreciate that. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. And you're not just a normal guest.
I thought you were going to say normal person.
And that.
Wait.
But, you know, you're the mother of my 2 children, soon to be 3, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Did you know I was pregnant?
Yeah, can't you tell?
Oh.
I'm kidding.
No, yeah.
But no, you know, you're not just a normal guest. You're the mother of my 2 children, soon to be 3. You know, you do an incredible job with our family. You're the high energy person that when things are low, you bring that, you know, that happiness into the family. You've always been my health queen.
Not lately.
Not lately.
It's all cheese sticks and Vegemite toast.
You're pregnant, that's the excuse. But no, in all seriousness, it's you play a massive role in my life, and yeah, it just means a lot to me. So thank you.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah. So, but before we start the episode, could you just share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I was thinking about this, and probably sort of 70% on the coast, 30% in the country. But it's funny because I've always felt so much more drawn to the country life, even though I'm mostly a city girl. Yeah. I love the beach, but I've always loved horses, mustering, camping, the outdoors, all that sort of stuff. We moved around a lot when I was a kid, every 2 years usually. So the house we're in now is number 33 for me, I think.
And I only have one.
Yeah.
Well, this is the second or third. Crazy.
Yeah, so in lots of ways we had a very different upbringing. But as far as like what I'm into, I love being a mum, trail running, yoga, meditation, growth, personal development, healthy eating. Yeah.
Just a little bit about the trails, because when I first met you, you told me that trails was a big pivotal moment in your life. Could you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, so originally, it's funny. Originally, I started running because I wanted to lose weight. That's just the honest truth.
Yeah.
And I used to look at sort of pictures of all these long distance runners, and they were all really lean. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, that's what I need to do. And then when I started running, I developed such a love for it, and specifically trails. It really did change my life. It became a huge part of who I was, and I think just the being out in nature, the solitude, but also discovering what you're capable of.
Yeah.
That's what I really found myself in challenging myself and what I was capable of. So I think that was the key thing, and all of a sudden losing weight didn't mean anything. It was just I just loved it.
Yeah. It's funny because when I first met you, I was thinking, why does she want to do these trails? It's like silly.
Yeah.
And I think everyone thinks that before they start.
Yeah.
And, you know, my exit, or the way I was releasing myself was at work.
Yeah.
And after seeing you finish your 50K run, that was just like the look on your face and how proud you were of yourself. Like, basically gave me this a spark inside myself to see what I'm capable of. And that's where you and I started training together, going on runs together.
Yeah.
And we were training for my first 50.
Yeah.
And then, the race ended up being cancelled and we did it together.
Yeah.
But so, trails is trails has always been something that's connected us.
Yeah.
I believe. You've motivated me to get into it. And a lot of our connection has been on trails, and it's so special. And what you mentioned there about how trails is like the solitude part and you're with nature and finding the deep grit inside of you when things are tough is really, really special. So
yeah. And I think too, it was such a good way for us to bond when we were getting to know each other, because it's not like you're sitting face to face across a table, which can be quite intimidating with someone that you're just getting to know. You're sort of side by side, or someone's in front and someone's behind. So it's just, I find like we would really talk. The conversation would really flow because it wasn't as intimidating as like sitting directly across.
Yeah.
So it was,
cool.
It was so much fun. We don't get to do that much these days.
I know, and we will.
We will.
It'll be back. So cool. So just going back, as I mentioned, there's so many topics we could talk about,
Yes.
right? And we could talk about trails all day and how much we're passionate about it. But today's episode, I really want to dive into a particular topic that I think's present for a lot of rural communities. Actually, everyone globally. But I think that what you spoke about then, where we could go out in the trails, we could go and have dinner, we could go and listen to music, whatever it is, we had a lot of freedom, right? And I think a lot of relationships do at the start.
Yeah.
So today I want to talk about, it's all about relationships, obviously, but the dynamic changes of a partnership starting with just the two of us, and the freedom and the flexibility that we have. And then when kids start coming in the mix, and the dynamics of that and the stresses behind that aren't said, and then businesses, like you running your own business, I had my own business, and those three things, I feel like everyone in the relationship's playing multiple roles. The role of the lover, like the lover relationship, the mother relationship, the father relationship with the children, the business, putting the business hat on it every day. There's so much complexity with that, and I feel that it creates a lot of strain in relationships that are unsaid, lack of communication, lack of intimacy.
Yep.
So I really want to dive deep into that today.
There's a lot in that.
Yeah, I know there's a lot, but essentially if I was to break it down into one sort of sentence, it's the work and life balance, with kids, family, and so on and so forth. So just to start that off, we'll go back to the beginning. So when we were together, the first thing is when we found out you were pregnant.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good place to start, because for a woman, a man doesn't experience this.
Yeah.
When a woman's pregnant for the first time in their life, tell me what that's like.
Just quickly, can you hear my heavy breathing? I'm like breathing so heavily. Just from the
because
baby.
you're pregnant.
Yeah, I'm like. People will be listening to this like, is she all right? I'm like,
You know we're keeping this in. This is perfect.
Anyway, yeah, it's interesting because I think it's like before you do anything you haven't done, the idea of it
Yeah.
is nothing like what you think it's going to be. And so we were so innocent and so excited and we had no idea. And I remember people even being like, trying to tell us stuff and we're like, that will not be our experience. We're so different to you. Like that will not happen to us. And then
reality.
Yeah, I got pregnant and like obviously my hormones and everything were crazy. I couldn't do the things that I used to do. I had a like identity crisis almost. We started fighting a lot because I had changed, and then I think my expectation of you changed too. Somehow, like I think I expected you to understand. And you couldn't because you weren't going through it in the same way.
Yeah.
And then for you, it probably changed too because I think men have a pressure then of someone to provide for more so. Do you think?
Yeah, I think that happened for me once Ozzy was born. I think prior to that wasn't, I didn't feel that yet.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really real.
Real, yeah.
But
Yep.
the emotional turmoil of what a woman goes through is quite present.
Yeah.
You know, I feel for women, especially when they haven't been taught, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we were really excited with Ozzy because you weren't that ill.
No.
As Minnie and this one currently.
Yeah.
So you were still training. You trained right up until
39 weeks.
39 weeks,
Yeah.
which is incredible.
Yeah.
But did you feel something like the question I was trying to ask was in your body, like when I watched you go from not having children to obviously birthing Ozzy, I feel like women go through this big transformation of, you know, their body changes. You know, I don't see it, but I remember you always talking about it, saying, you know, I feel different. Everything's, I don't know. I just want to talk about that.
I probably didn't, like looking back, I probably didn't experience that so much through the pregnancy as after the birth.
Right.
As you know,
cool.
like my birth with Ozzy was quite traumatic. My recovery from that was so much more than I ever thought it would be.
So that's when it was present for you. It's like after the recovery.
Because I had a prolapse and I had some other stuff go on, obviously like stitches and all sorts of stuff. So the recovery was huge. But I would actually say that down the track, I bounced back from that pregnancy so much faster than I did with Minnie. Like I was back, like I was fit, I was training, I felt amazing. Whereas I feel like with consecutive pregnancies, like, you know, with Minnie, probably not so much. And then with this pregnancy, obviously I've been so ill. So every time's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, okay, well, let's go after the birth. In your perspective, what do you think changed in the relationship of, wow, I've got this baby that I need to look after? Where did you see sort of the disconnection in our relationship started to slip in that we didn't sort of see at the time, but we sort of paid for later?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, firstly, majority of my attention turned towards him. And I think that was probably hard for you. Well, I'm just assuming because like I was so focused on you and then my attention sort of turned towards him.
Yeah.
So that was one thing. And then secondly, I had a lot of postpartum anxiety. So I was really struggling, like really having a hard time. And I think that probably affected our relationship more than we realised at the time.
Yeah, I agree.
was so fearful about everything because the anxiety was triggering that.
And the letdowns are huge too.
Yes, and we didn't really know what was going on with me. Like we just knew that something wasn't
the
right.
reality kicked in and we're like, oh, this is not
and
as
then
easy as
he
we thought.
wouldn't sleep and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah, and just on the whole, I think it is a true thing where, and I get it, it's maternal, where a woman needs to put their full focus on the child.
Yeah.
Like it's the survival, right? And well, I felt it. I felt the disconnection. So where my mind went was like, well, I'm just going to get to work. I need to provide. That's when that provider part of me started to kick in. The instincts of going, hey, this is not just about Jennah and I anymore. I've got a child and I need to support.
Yeah.
And I need to start focusing on that because Jennah's playing her role with looking after this.
She's cooked.
Catch ya.
Good luck with that.
But it was that was the truth.
Yeah.
Like I saw your mind and your focus shift onto Aussie, and I'm like, okay, well, where do I put my focus now?
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
Before the birth, it was just you and me.
Yeah.
So
I get that.
I feel like that's really present for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I would totally agree with that. And I think looking back, there's probably a lot of things we could have done to make that transition so much easier, but you just don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's funny because, you know, we had Minnie, and in so many ways, like, that was such a breeze.
Yeah.
Because we'd done it before and we knew what to expect and we didn't read into it too much. I think after we had Aussie, we had this strong sense like something was wrong, but it was actually a normal process of transitioning into that. So with Minnie, when it's like we didn't have a lot of time to talk, I was sleep deprived, we were busy, it's like, cool, we're just in this period of time, this will pass, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
it's funny you said that because Scott, my brother and I, we did a podcast and we talked about with business, you've got to fail before you can learn.
Yeah.
Like fail, yeah, it's like relationships, like having children. You've got to learn the hard way to figure it out.
Aussie was our experiment.
Absolutely.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah. And I think everyone's got to do that. So
yeah, I agree.
So that's cool. So the next topic I want to talk about is around independence and security of a woman. Because when we first met, you were independent. You had your own job, you're making money, you're providing for yourself, you had your own security, and then obviously a child is born, Aussie.
Yeah.
And that focus is all on him. You don't have the ability to go and work. You don't have the ability to do these things. Your independence is sort of lost. What's that feeling for a woman to lose that? And then obviously going, okay, well, Sam, you'd feel guilty. Where I'm sitting there as a male going, I want to provide for you. But there's always, I sensed from you going, well, I don't want you to provide. I want to try and provide for myself. What was that like?
Yeah, that was really hard for me. And I think there's a few things at play. Like, as you said, I'd always been independent and I'd never relied on anyone else. And it was similar for your upbringing. Like, our parents didn't give us everything, as in we had to, as soon as I could work, I had to get a job and make my own money. It wasn't like they were handing out cash to us.
Yeah.
So I was sort of used to that already. And then when the vulnerability you feel after you've had a baby is so hard to explain. You're vulnerable in every way, physically, emotionally, financially, like completely reliant. And yeah, it's an interesting experience.
So how'd that make you feel? Like, what's it doing to your body? And does that sort of is that what that shut off feeling is, or?
Oh, it's sort of hard to say what's what because it's like a million things rolled into one.
Yeah, it's what you say. It's like being who says that? It's like being in a washing machine when you're pregnant.
Yeah.
You don't know which way's up.
Yeah. But, and I also think too, it was a strong paradigm of mine because Mum had always drilled into me like, never rely on a man, you know, never blah, blah, blah. So, but you have to. So, you know, I think I was sort of struggling with that deep belief as well, which was also hard.
Yeah, because Max and I are actually talking on the way here, talking about that. And we were both like, can you imagine if that happened to us?
Yeah.
He's like, that would break us.
Yeah.
Like, man or woman, doesn't matter. Like, losing that independence would be huge.
Yeah.
And I feel for women. I really do.
And I think that was probably one of the main reasons that I decided to start my business was because I thought I wanted to, firstly I wanted to prove something. I wanted to have something that was my own. And I think my intentions behind that were wrong. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say. It was like I was trying to, fill that space or contribute financially, have my own thing, which ultimately led to burnout, really, in the end. Because remember, I launched 2 businesses.
Yeah. So let's tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when Ozzy was 12 weeks old, I launched 2 businesses. We had a e-commerce business, an intimate oil for women, and then I also launched a coaching business as well at the same time.
Correct.
So I was running both of those with a new baby,
Burning the candle.
living with my parents. Remember, we were, and they were in the midst of a divorce. So it was,
And I just finished the rigs.
so you were
I was
cooked,
in a bad
and
way.
that was a really, really strange time.
Mm.
But what was it like for you? All of a sudden having a family to provide for? Because it all happened really fast, really, since
It
we
did,
met.
and also too, we just had Aussie at the time, and I just left my career,
Yeah,
so I was in.
there's a lot going on.
I was very stressed.
Yeah.
because I was like, hang on a minute, I just built a business from the ground up with my brother, a very successful business, but I knew it wasn't right for me, and you helped me with that to figure out that there's something else out there. There's a calling. I didn't know what it was at the time because I was so muddled up and
Yeah.
I was in such a bad way. But leaving that industry and then being there with a child on the ground, going, "Oh wow,
Yeah.
this is like the reality is really kicking in here. I need to get to work to provide for this family," and it was really stressful.
Yep.
So I think why I struggled so much when I was building the van before we were going to travel in Australia is because I'm sitting there while I'm building this thing going, is this the right move?
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
You know, back there is this beautiful business that I've built,
Yeah.
but moving forward, there's the unknown.
Yep.
And I think the unknown is where a lot of people get trapped. Well, not trapped, they get stuck and they don't go for it.
Yep.
So yeah, to answer that sort of, I was unsure of myself.
Yeah.
And I was starting to question my own beliefs around what I thought was possible for myself. So yeah, that's what that was like.
Yeah, we really jumped in, didn't we?
All in.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of relationship we have.
Yeah, but that's why you're in this position now, because
Yeah.
you took that risk.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. So well, that's good. So we've gone from having Aussie, running multiple businesses, which creates stress.
Yeah.
I've got me building my own new business, finding my feet, trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. Where do you think the work stress shows up in relationships at that time? Where do you think it was playing out for us?
Well, it was a little bit more complicated than just regular work stress because, as you said, like you'd left your business that you'd built.
Yeah.
So we actually there was a lot of stress going on.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
kids,
Heaps.
business,
My parents.
my emotional state, your parents, you're going
Yeah.
through a lot right then. Yeah.
And then
that was
my-
actually, to
I
think
was-
about it was a lot.
Yeah,
Huge.
it was.
Far out.
Yeah. So I think that particular stage in time, the work stress it was different to work stress now,
Correct,
if
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah. So that was really, really challenging.
I think communication was a big one,
Well, we didn't really know how to communicate in those days.
but we did when we had no one else.
Well, that's true, actually.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I believe communication is one of the biggest keys in relationships.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate, you're fucked. Where we went from communicating every single day,
That's true.
all night, to all hours of the morning, to having children, to having businesses, never talking
Yeah.
deeply about
Deeply,
what's going
yeah.
on.
But I think it's because it was all issues we had never navigated before. So we're like, we didn't really.
Well, we didn't know, but
Yeah.
I'm just reflecting on where you see now where the issues
That's
were.
so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. We very much weren't. Yeah. Actually, that's
We're
a
literally
really good
surviving.
point. Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really tough. But now I would say like work stress, it's just mainly, I would say, like presence. You're really busy often, and then phone calls at night and that sort of stuff. And I think like you're dealing with stress that I don't understand,
Correct.
and I'm dealing with stress that we've both got our own
Yeah.
stresses going on.
So tell me some stresses that you've experienced from a mother's perspective and be real here about my stresses, bringing my stuff home, my own mental state, having children. Like, what are the stresses that you feel on a day-to-day basis being a mother?
Mate.
Come on, mate.
Where do we know? Look, I mean, it's just all pretty normal stuff. I think usually when I'm in a really good state,
Yeah.
I'm on top of it, and it's just the normal stuff of like keeping on top of the house, or just keeping everything organized. The mental load of remembering everything, like who needs what, and Minnie's going to the next size clothes, or she's going to need this, and their fingernails need cutting, and then Ozzy's got this tooth thing going on. And it's just like all those little things that I have to organise, booking the appointments, like, just that sort of stuff. And then trying to find time for myself in amongst all of that is hard. And then I think when you're going through stuff, sometimes it can feel a little bit like, oh, okay, now he needs something from me. And sometimes it can feel like my cup's already, like I don't have a lot to give, and then I've somehow got to find something to give you.
Yeah,
that sounds terrible, but that's just the truth.
I know that, because when I come home from work and I'm looking for that connection, or I'm looking for that whatever it is, like, you're just gone.
Yeah.
But as you say to me, it's like, I've had kids touching me all freaking day.
Yeah.
I've had screaming, I've had cleaning, like, it's just too much.
Yeah.
And that's when your nervous system's so wound. And so I feel that. And I mean, I have the children for 2 hours and I fucking want to get out of there.
Yeah. Men and women are designed differently, though.
I get it, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. It's constant noise. It does take a lot from, but like you always say to me, you're like, yes, but did you get up and do your meditation? Did you do, Yeah. So I think, obviously I've been so sick with this pregnancy, but I do think that when I am taking those steps, then I do have a lot more capacity, I think.
Correct.
Yeah. But what's it like for you with the stress that you deal with, and then coming home and dealing with us?
I think, leaving the drilling industry, I was in a pretty bad way.
Yeah.
And that's when I found my love for self-development. That's what Rural Bridge is built on. It's, when I left the drilling industry, I had to find myself. I had to pull myself. You saw what I went through. Like, I pulled myself into a million pieces and built myself back up over the last 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
And through that experience, I realised that health and relationships are the most important part before wealth is created.
Yes.
It's all one.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, I was just surviving. But now what I'm trying to do, and I'm refining that, is to create balance.
Yeah.
So the stress that I hold is, can I build this legacy that I want to build, but in a way that serves you and the children, and then we can continue our relationship to be strengthened.
Yeah.
I can connect with my children. I can stay healthy. I can enjoy this well-balanced life. But there's a lot of pressure to it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of spinning plates. Going to work and working is easy, but doing that, staying healthy, and then having a connected relationship is fucking difficult.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the pressure that I hold.
Yeah.
But I do understand, the more aware I am, like, the amount of shit I've dragged home over the years has been pretty bad. I'll walk in the door and you can tell straight away, like, this guy's still got his work hat on, and I just need to give him space. And I find it difficult sometimes to come home and de-stress.
Yeah.
But what I've learned over these years, I need to, as you said, you've got to have these routines in place and have these rituals where you can disconnect and come home. For me, it's literally feeling like you're taking the hat off, jumping in the sauna, sweating the day away, and then coming into the room and going, I'm present now.
Yeah.
If I don't do that, I'm still at work. Probably the biggest pressures is living and breathing what Rural Bridge is all about.
Yeah.
And it's a big role.
Yep.
There's sort of the pressures that I've got. And I also always try to make sure that you and I are first.
Yeah.
Like, I know with women, they put themselves first over everyone. sorry, they put their children and
Yeah.
husbands over
Yes.
everyone else except
Yeah.
themselves. And I think where relationships go wrong is it should be the other way around.
I agree.
You've got to be able to put yourself first. And at the start, if I felt guilty for it, now I feel guilty if I don't, because
Yeah.
if I don't put myself first by going to training, doing breath
Yeah.
work, ice baths, meditating,
Yeah.
mobility, whatever it is, before coming home and looking you in the eyes or being with my children,
Yeah.
you're losing the game.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, and then the children feel that too.
Yeah.
Ozzy, when I come home and I haven't looked after myself first, he can sense it. He's like, Dad's off. I don't like him today, and he just creates a tantrum.
Yeah, it's true.
So-
yeah.
So, what's it look like for you on a day-to-day basis to put yourself first?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's almost like I'm relearning what that looks like. I think it changes with every season for me, and sometimes I feel like I'm actually not sure what I need.
Right.
And I think that's why, like, I sort of fall into these ruts sometimes, because it's almost like I need to rediscover what that would look like. I think it's the things I used to do aren't sort of drawing me in as much, or it feels too hard, or I don't know. I think I need to be in a bit of a discovery phase and like maybe try some new things and see what that could look like. But one thing I think is really missing for me is that time alone with my own thoughts. I just don't really have any of that.
Yeah.
And I think the trails used to give me that.
Like checking in with yourself.
Yeah, and I think the trails used to give me that. And obviously, because I'm not really doing much of that at the moment, I'm missing that huge chunk of time. And training, like I'm not going to the gym, I'm not running at all.
Yeah.
Because I've been so unwell.
But I feel like what I've noticed about you over the last, since Ozzy was born, is you used to give yourself a really hard time.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like now you're like, you know what? I'm in this season and I'm going to enjoy it. Because remember with Ozzy...
Yeah.
What? What are you laughing about?
I think another word for that is giving up. No.
Hang on a minute. You don't give up. No one gives up in the Ferrier family.
No, I'm only kidding. No, it's
That's our motto.
It's so true. That's actually a really good point. Yeah, no, I'm not giving myself a hard time, because I think after you've done it once, you realise that it all passes. Like
Just a phase
and
of
then
your
you
life.
come back into another phase.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. This conversation sits inside the Boots Off series, where we talk about the reality of life outside of work, the pressure, the responsibility, and how that shows up at home with your partner and your family. Let's get back into it. So, Jennah, I just want to touch on communication and presence. First is presence. When I come home, from a woman's perspective, how do you know that I'm present? Because I'm interested to know more and learn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what does that look like?
Yeah, I find firstly, I find when you're not present, I feel like you hide from us, like as in like you move into different rooms. No, seriously, you'll come home and we'll all be in the lounge room, for example, and then all of a sudden you're just gone, and you move into the room, and as we follow you around, you just keep moving. So you'll hide in the bedroom, or you'll hide in the bathroom. And so I feel like that's one. And then your phone is a big one. If you put your phone away, then I know that you're present. And it's not that you're scrolling on social media or whatever. You're literally just working.
Calculator.
Yeah, you're either on the calculator or you're on the phone to someone.
Working, yeah.
Yeah, working. So that's probably a big one. And then I think even just hearing what I say, I can have a full conversation with you, and then you'll be like, yeah. And then I'll mention it again later, and you'll be like, oh yeah. I'm like, no, I've already told you that. And you didn't hear it.
That. Yeah.
So they're probably the main ones. And also just your energy. I can feel when you're happy to just sit and be with us and play with the kids and talk or whatever.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I know that I'm like that because my awareness is so strong at the moment. And how I try to help myself, correct me if I'm wrong, if I get to the car, and it's been quite hectic at the moment because of what's going on, but there's no excuses. But if I'm in the car and I'm about to walk inside, how I best maintain that or, you know, develop a skill around it is I picture myself sitting there going, okay, I need to empty myself from work so that I'm not dragging that through home. And that's hard.
Yeah.
Because with my career, a lot of my investors are calling me at 5 or 6 or 7 o'clock at night because that's when they finish.
Yep.
But in saying that, I should be able to, it's interesting, and I'll touch on that. Scotty Hayes shared with me an episode of this Navy SEALs guy, and he talked about dials. And ever since I've watched that, it's stuck with me. And I think it's the most simple analogy that any man can use or woman can use around presence and tuning into different parts of your life. So, for instance, if I'm walking in the door and I need to tune into yourself or my kids, obviously I'm dialed into work that day.
Yeah.
I need to dial back in work, and then I need to dial into my family.
Yeah.
Now, that's like a mental thing. You can do it internally. Or if that doesn't work, I do that in the sauna. I sweat it out of the sauna and go, okay, I'm dialing out of work. I'm letting all that go.
Yeah.
And now I need to open the door and I need to be present with my children.
Yeah.
That is hard, and I'm working on that. And I think it's a skill that takes a long time to work out.
Yeah.
The moving around the room part is interesting, and I know what that is. And
So you admit it.
Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and not admit it. I know what I'm doing because I'm so aware of it. But the reason why I'm doing it is because the dial's still on work.
Yeah.
And when I have a distraction, when my dial's dialed into something, I have to deter it.
Yeah.
It's like, get away.
Yeah.
I've got things to do.
Yeah,
so I find a little hideout where I can get more work done. And I'm thinking I'm moving the needle, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. And it's almost like when I come home with you and you're fully tapped out or fully cooked and you've got a bit of that ick of like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Like the kids have been touching me all day. That's a little bit what I'm like when I come home.
Sure.
I'm a bit like, I've been working so hard all day, I just can't handle extra strain right now. So I hide away.
Stimulation. Yeah, I get it.
So that's what that is.
Yeah.
The phone thing, yes, I don't have social media. I haven't had it for 6 years. It doesn't matter. Like, I shouldn't be on the phone. And so, yeah, I'm working on those things. And I think a really good tool for men is to picture yourself, emptying yourself of the day, and then putting that energy into your family. So, yeah.
I think it's probably harder to when you have your own business, because it's not like you have a job that you go to and then you can just come home and switch off from that job. Because it's all on you essentially, like everything you do. And everyone's looking to you for answers or questions. No one else can answer them.
No, correct.
So it's a bit more difficult for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do? I'm interested to see, like, if you were to, I know you're at this phase of your life and you're pregnant, but if you were to go back to a day-to-day basis where you can manage your stress, become more present with me, with your children, like, what's that look like from a woman's perspective?
Definitely always trying to wake up before the kids. And that's
a big one.
That's really hard sometimes. Like, obviously I haven't been doing that the last 6 weeks because I've been so sick and I'm tired or whatever. But when I'm feeling good, always trying to wake up before the kids, because if you can even have half an hour to yourself, like, and what that would look like for me is I like to make a coffee and then I like to do some journaling or just sit with my own thoughts, maybe do a meditation, something like that.
So what's the journaling do? How does that help you?
I think it's different for everyone, maybe, depending on what sort of journaling you do. But for me, I like to I either express how I'm feeling, and it's almost like you can get it out of your head and then put it on paper and then you don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah, it's almost like the emptying part.
Yeah, it is. And then I also use it for affirmations or attracting things that I want as well, because that's really powerful, putting something down on paper. So that's how I do it usually. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And then for me, a big thing is exercise. Like, if I can train in the morning, whether that's gym or going for a run, I'm a different person
Yeah, you
for
are.
the day.
Well, wherever, yeah.
Yeah.
I can sense that. When you come back from the gym,
100%.
you're just a different person.
Yep. And I have more energy. I've had that time to myself. I've achieved something and I'm good to go. So that's definitely really important. And then even like obviously before I was pregnant, but when you'd come home from work and then you'd have a sauna and then you would say, well, why don't you go and have a sauna? Like that, just even having 20 minutes
To yourself,
is huge. Or even being able to just have a shower. Like I know that sounds...
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, but I can't do that.
No.
Unless you're there, really. So just those little things, but I think asking for what you need as a woman, it can feel really hard. Even like the other day we had a cleaner come in and that's the first time we've ever had a cleaner come. And I felt guilty because I'm like, well, that's my job, you know?
Yeah, but I get it. Yeah.
But it was so helpful. And so I think not being afraid to ask for what you want, express for what you need, ask for help. And I think like something I'm also working on is like stop saying, or can I go and have a shower? It's like, but I'm going to have a shower. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Correct.
Because you don't mind.
No, I don't care.
You know, and I think just that little shift of like not feeling guilty for booking in a massage or as long as you know ahead of time, obviously, because like you've got to work it in with your schedule, but not feeling guilty for trying to carve out some time for yourself because it makes you a better mother and it makes you a better partner.
And that sort of relates back to what I was saying about filling your cup.
Yeah,
and
totally. Yeah.
How now I don't feel guilty. It's like if I need to go and get a massage, I need to go and play some sport. If I need to go and travel, if I need to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care anymore.
No, it's taken you a long time to get there,
a long time because I always felt guilty about not working.
Yeah.
And that was that paradigm that's taken me years. Like I felt guilty of sitting down on the couch in the afternoon on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Thinking I should be outside working. But that took me 5 years.
Yeah.
Literally 5 years. Till the end of last year, that took.
Yeah.
Now I don't care because I've undone that.
You've come a long way with not feeling guilty for making time for yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously you're doing this 360 challenge at the moment.
Yeah.
What made you decide that they were the rules, or how did you design it?
It's been like a 6-year design because since I started the self-development journey, I've figured out pieces of the puzzle that suited my picture.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, like what you needed
specifically. Journaling to you works for you. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I hate journaling.
That's like breath work.
I love breath work. I do it all day.
Yeah,
So there's so many tools out there, but what I've sort of accumulated over the last 5-6 years is I've found what works for me. And I think that's very interesting. What people need to understand is like there's so many people teaching things out there and like, oh, I feel guilty I'm not doing that, but it might not be right for you.
Yeah, it's all trial and error.
It's all trial and error. And then, so to answer your question, it's been trial and error. But what I've realised is if I really want to become successful and create this sustainability with my wealth, with money, health and relationships, I need to create non-negotiable things that I do on a day-to-day basis. And I need to take out the things that are going to stop that. Because, drinking's been a big part of my life. Massive. Drank a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, a lot of partying because of certain circumstances in my life. And what I've done since then is created this routine that I'm just started in on the 2nd of January this year.
Why not the 1st?
We had quite a big weekend. We celebrated an investment win that we all worked very, very hard for, and that's just who I am.
Yes.
I'm either 100% in, I'm not at all.
Yeah.
So after that, I've set my challenge for 365 days where I'm not going to drink a drop of alcohol.
Which is huge.
Which is huge for me.
Yeah.
Nearly at 3 months, which next week actually 3 months.
It's crazy.
But the drinking's actually the easiest part for me. It was the distraction. If I didn't have the drinking in there, none of this would work. So it had to be in there because it's the one that is the knock-on effect for the rest.
Yeah.
The other part to it is every morning I have to wake up before 5 a.m.
Yeah.
which has been difficult. And I thought to myself that was going to be the easiest one. It's actually the hardest because, you know, I've been doing a 6-week detoxification process at the moment with my employee, Maxi. Him and I have been through. It is very, very difficult to do. And when you're feeling ill and you're feeling lethargic and you don't want to get up, you've got no energy, that alarm clock goes off at 4:45, you've got to get out of bed.
Yep.
Now, the benefits of that is my circadian rhythm. Like when I hit the pillow at night, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And at 4:45 in the morning, I'm waking up before my alarm even goes off. I still set it because I don't want to miss that 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But what you said before about doing something challenging in the morning, something physical, how it makes you feel when you walk in the door, you've accomplished something.
Yeah, it's true.
And that plays out through my day with, you know, work and stress and all the things that all the plates that I'm spinning. Doing something physical and hard in the morning is unbelievable for the day.
I agree.
So that's the second thing. Then the third thing is cold showers in the morning. Now, that's not too bad at the moment, but we are entering winter.
Yeah, come winter.
And look, it has been pretty easy, but what I'm doing is I'm training my body and my mind and my ability to overpower my mind when it says no.
Yeah.
It's like what Tony Robbins does. He gets in an ice bath every single morning and his body's like, no. And his mind's like, no. And he's like, bullshit, we're going for it.
Yeah.
So I want to create that instinct in me when things get difficult, I push through it because that's what that's all about.
Yeah. And it makes you feel like you can handle anything.
Well, it's
you've
pressure,
built that
right?
trust within yourself.
If you've got pressure in front of you, which is freezing cold in the morning, and you're like, oh shit, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's like anything. Like, I've got to make this call, this investment call. It's going to be difficult, but you push through it.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, pushes through every part of your life, including your relationship. So that's that part. And the fourth one is a statement. The statement is, you know, the Think and Grow Rich statement by Napoleon Hill. There's a statement that he says it's an affirmation you build for yourself that you read out every day. That's the 10 to 15 to 20-year version of yourself.
Yeah, I need to do that.
It is how it has changed my life. I've been reading it every morning. I've actually missed one day, but I read it the next day. I read it twice. I know. But I generally read it on my phone towards gym or when I'm sitting in sauna or whatever it is.
That's a good one. I need to get onto that.
Yeah, and it's not just about money. It's about our relationship, our kids. It's a very well all-rounded affirmation.
Yeah.
But when I speak through it, I'm not just speaking the words, I'm feeling the words. There's a big thing about...
That's the key, isn't it?
That's the big thing about when people are, you know, manifesting things. I can sit here all day and say, I'm going to be a billionaire, but if you don't believe it, it won't happen.
Yeah, agree.
So you've got to believe the words that you're saying and feel it in your body.
Yeah.
And that's when you can start manifesting. That's the fourth thing. The fifth thing is every day I've got to learn something or do some type of mindfulness thing, which is meditation, breath work, some type of... so there's the sixth one. There's six, yeah. So the fifth one is mindset.
Yep.
Which is breathwork meditation. And then the sixth one is workout every day.
Yeah.
So some people are going to say, well, that's stupid. You shouldn't work it every day. But working, it's a bit like the 75 hard. As long as you're outside doing something for 45 minutes, moving the body, you can do yoga, you know, whatever, mobility, any sort of fitness.
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing that every day. So that is my routine for the next 365 days. That's the 360 free.
Yeah.
You named it for me, which is cool. Yeah.
What a legend.
So that's it. And that keeps me on path at all times. And so, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying not to eat that third cheese stick.
That's all right. It's all good.
Different seasons. It's okay.
But so that's what I do there. The second topic is communication. Now, as I mentioned before, I believe it's one of the most important things to a relationship.
Agree.
And I believe you and I got a lot of coaching with Murray Mazurek around this. Incredible coach. Highly recommend anyone to go and do Murray's work.
Yep.
You and I sort of reached out to him when we were a bit of a stuck stage in our relationship where we were lost. We didn't know what we wanted to do. We thought our relationship was broken. We were living in Tamworth at the time, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, when we first moved to Tamworth.
Yeah.
And what Murray did was he broke our relationship apart and made it look like two pieces. He said, it's not the relationship that's the problem. You're the problem, the individual. My shit was playing out through you and your stuff was playing out through me.
For sure.
Through childhood conditionings, so on and so forth.
Yep.
And when he dichotomized that and opened it up and we saw what was playing out, we could communicate through that. And I think that's really helped us. What are your thoughts there?
I totally agree. I think it was like an opportunity to, I feel like we got everything out on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Like as in...
You went hard on me. That's good.
I know. And I thought that I was like innocent in the whole thing. I was like, this is definitely all his stuff. And then Murray's like, no, it's definitely 50-50. And I think that was a really good thing for me to realise was that I was contributing negatively more than what I thought I was. So that was incredible. It was almost like we got like a clean slate and a fresh start.
Yeah.
But it was so hard going through it. Like I remember when we got off that call, you and me, it's like we couldn't even look at each other for like 2 days, I feel like. We just both needed to process what had happened.
Yeah. 50 dagger wounds.
Yeah, but it was so incredible. And I feel like it also gave us permission, I think, to communicate so much more. Like as in now, if something comes up, generally speaking, we just try to address it in the moment. And we'll even say, hey, like I just want to talk about that. And
I need to improve on that.
But I think for me it was like I used to, and I think this is definitely my upbringing, avoid conflict. And so I thought like if we had an argument or a disagreement that it meant that there was something wrong with our relationship or it was really negative. Whereas now I don't shy away from that. It's like, okay, we can have that disagreement. It doesn't mean that we don't love each other or we're going to break up or whatever. So that was a really, really pivotal moment for our relationship, I think.
Yeah.
But I also want to touch on like way back the work we did with James Baylog, because I think initially
true. He was unreal.
That really did help us.
Big shout out to James, boy.
Yeah, and
Legend.
That helped us identify what was that we both had really bad anxiety in different ways, and that was causing a lot of friction. And he was the first person to name that for us because we didn't know what was going on. So that was where it sort of all began. And then we've just gone deeper and deeper and deeper as the years have progressed, I think. Yeah.
Well, James and I always laugh about it. James Baylog, which was my first life coach ever. And we always laugh. It's like without Jennah, none of this would all be real. When you first met James on the beach, when he saw your dog, and then you eventually said, I'm over the life on the coast, and came out west, and then we met and you said, hey, you should talk to James Baylog. And that was when my whole life changed. And that's why at the beginning there of this episode, I was just wanted to, share how much gratitude I have for you because...
You're welcome.
Because without you, none of this would be possible. So
yes, but it's like that saying, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. It's like if you weren't willing to dive in and do everything you've done, you wouldn't be in the position you're in. Like, yes, I introduced you to, well, everything, but you took it and ran with it. Yeah. No one can do that for you.
I can't take you to water. You won't drink.
No, not at the moment. That's not where I'm at.
No, I'm kidding.
So, yeah, I think you did it, though.
Yeah.
You did the work. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's cool. But back on the communication piece, like, the biggest thing that it did for me was sometimes when you feel... when Murray's like, when you feel it, just talk about it. Because if you don't talk about the feeling that's there on the chest, or it's in your mind, or wherever it is in your body, if you don't express it, all you're doing is suppressing it.
Yeah.
And when you suppress things over and over and over again, that's where we create a lot of emotional turmoil, where we create a lot of emotional stuckness. And that's when we have internal conflicts with ourselves. And generally, we blame the person across from us.
Totally.
But it's our own shit that we're fighting with that we can't let out. And that's what you said about, it was so good to express ourselves and just let it all out. I think another thing for me that I need to get back into is jiu-jitsu. And I just cracked my knee then because it's and I spoke to John Suri about this, and he reckons jiu-jitsu's, if you're getting sore during jiu-jitsu, it's not the jiu-jitsu's fault. It's my fault because I'm hanging on to a lot.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because for any men out there that feel like they're holding on to a lot of stress and a lot of friction, like go and do something physical. Scream underwater. I remember I used to scream underwater when I was on the Gold Coast. Oh, it sounds weird, but it's the most inspirational thing you can ever do.
I remember when you were doing jiu-jitsu, you were super different. Like when you would come home.
Calm.
Yeah, and like just more open somehow. Like,
well, it's a bit like when I used to come home from a big day's work.
Yeah.
Just armors off. I'm just,
yeah, that's true.
Where at work today, these days, I'm very analytical, very in the office, like using my mind a lot, but I'm not physically exerting myself, which is why I look for extreme things such as 100K runs and you know, I want to train for a mile at the end of the year. So I need that outlet.
Yeah, I get that. I actually do understand.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you either like running ultras or you don't, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Before we wrap things up, I've got 5 questions here that I want you to answer. And these questions help create a successful relationship.
Yep.
I want you to answer these within 60 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. What's the one part of yourself that you need to take responsibility for so it doesn't affect our relationship?
My own happiness.
Beautiful. What's one thing I can do to be a better partner?
More affection.
What's one thing you need from me right now?
To listen.
Ooh, like that. What don't we do enough together?
Spend alone time.
When things are tough, what's your why?
With you.
Yeah. Hope there's no one else.
Just that we, underneath everything, are best friends and we love each other very much.
Beautiful. So, Jennah, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure.
Hopefully the first of many.
I know. This is just the start. And we're going to have plenty more. But yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to come in.
Thank you.
And I love you dearly.
Love you too.
And can't wait to do this again.
I know, uninterrupted conversation.
I know. We've answered one of the questions.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. To listen to more content like this, you can find the Rural Bridge podcast on all your favourite social channels. Thanks you for listening. See you on the next one.